Okay, so here we are. I'm going to give away Bitcoin. So basically, what you need to do in order to get Bitcoin is you're going to need to have a wallet. No sound, no sound. Are you sure it is not on your side? I hope that some people can hear me. So let me go over to the other. Let me go over to the other one. No sound. Weird. I can play songs, no problem, but I've never been on Blab. Okay, so I think that that must be on your side. Try Chrome. No, you don't have to click join. You could try that. Then you would be next to me. Okay, so I hope some people, there are a few more people here. If you want Bitcoin, you're going to need to get a Bitcoin wallet in order to store the Bitcoin. So you might ask, where do you get that? Well, there are a few options, and one good one is called Electrum. So let's do a little search and find the Electrum Bitcoin wallet. And that is at electrum.org. I will post the link in the chat, and then you can go directly there. Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me? Can you tell me? Because one person said he couldn't hear me, and then I reloaded the Blab, and then, of course, the Blab ended. But it's okay. I started a new one. So if you want Bitcoin, you're going to need a wallet. I suggest that you download the wallet Electrum that I just posted in the chat. That's a good one to start with. There is another option that you could start with if you prefer a web-based wallet, which does have some drawbacks but is convenient. Then you could use blockchain.info. If you do choose a web wallet, please be aware that the blockchain info wallet, you're responsible for your password. So if you lose your password, they do not have it. So it is a so-called trustless service. Are you singing opera? Can anyone else hear Theo's beautiful tenor? Yes, please someone tell me if you can hear me. Otherwise, I'm going to start singing. That would be great if someone could just give me the heads up and say, yes, I do hear you, or no, I don't hear you. Or if someone wants, I hear someone's coming on right now. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Great. So, Gabrielle, I think that's a problem on your side. So I suggest using Chrome or reloading or doing a full reset of your computer if you want. But I think if you use Chrome, I think a lot of people used Chrome and had success if they had problems with another browser. So check that out. Everyone joining, if I would love to give you Bitcoin, but I need a Bitcoin address. And how do you get a Bitcoin address? You download a wallet. So I've put some different wallets in the chat. And if you download a wallet and give me your address, then I will send you a little bit of Bitcoin. And then we will track the transaction live on the Bitcoin blockchain as it's happening and see what's going on a little bit. So this is a learning experience to do it live. I think. So it's kind of going to be kind of hard for you to download a wallet while driving, and I want you to concentrate. I want you to concentrate on driving. That's good. How's it going, Bobby?
I have Coinbase and I have ChangeTip.
Okay, that would work. That would work. So I'm not 100% sure ChangeTip has an extra address I can send to inside their wallet. It's possible. Coinbase does, definitely. So if you have a Coinbase account, then you could give me that address and I would send you over a few bits. It sounds like you already know a little bit about Bitcoin because you've got ChangeTip and Coinbase already. Tell us about how did you get into Bitcoin? By ChangeTip, or how did you get into it?
Yeah, ChangeTip, I got into it, and then I done Coinbase for a free wallet, just learning. And my Coinbase address is Shadow3413. I don't know, maybe you can check it out.
Well, I can't do it like that. Okay, we've got one. Joint Specialist is showing us how to do it. I need an address like a Joint Specialist. So it's the Shadow that would work if I had a Coinbase account too. So basically, what Coinbase is doing is they're giving you an alias, which is really convenient, So if I have a Coinbase account too, I can just send it to that alias, and I don't have to have this really weird, long Bitcoin address. But so Joint has given me his address.
Okay, yeah, because I'm driving right now, so I can't.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate you joining. That's really cool. So I'm going to send a few bits over to Joint, and I'm going to send some bits over to Gabrielle and to Brittany. They've all got given me some addresses, and then we're going to check out on a so-called Block Explorer, which is just showing us the blockchain in a way that we can look at it. Let me type in my super secret password into one of my wallets and talk at the same time. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with it. So all right, Joint, your transaction is out. Let's see, Gabrielle, yours is on the way. Just a minute. Did you get it already, Joint?
Refreshing now.
Okay, so it did beat. I did get. It should be on the way.
Yeah, the Mycelium servers are bogged down. They're back up. Oh, there it is. See, we got it. In the green.
We got it live on air. The first live Bitcoin transaction in Blab history. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here. We did it live on air. It's amazing. It works. We're sending value over the internet without anyone's permission, just our own permission. It's an amazing thing.
Theo.
All right, so let me get
millibit. That's generous. Thank you.
That's pretty generous. Yeah. Well, I like the small amounts. That's cool. But if I'm going to send it on the blockchain, it needs to be an amount that is okay. And it also needs to be an amount that they can also send to someone, that they have enough that they could possibly send it to someone else too, because that's what I want to happen. And I'm paying the full miner fee right now, even though that's taking a good bit of what I'm sending. I think that's okay. That's a good service in my opinion. So I'm happy. So here, next up, live on air, Brittany, get ready. Get your Bitcoin wallet ready because it's going to be ringing soon. Just a minute. Here we go. We're going to send a millibit over there to Brittany, live on air. Yes, it's very dramatic.
Cool.
So I'm sending I'm sending a millibit, and a millibit, I'm typing in the chat how much that is. So that's 0.001 of a Bitcoin, which is worth something. We could calculate it out. So I guess Bitcoin's at about 290 now, or 285, 290, right? So how much, Joint, how much would a millibit be? Brittany got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it. That is cool. So and after I'm finished sending this one to Sean, we're going to check out these transactions on the blockchain just as a little learning experience, and I'll show you what happened.
Yeah, that's right. For con.
So how much is a millibit worth right now?
Millibit. Yeah, 29 cents.
29 cents. So I just gave you guys 29 cents in Bitcoin. It could be worth 10 cents in a week. It could be worth $1 in a week. Nobody knows. It could be worth nothing in a week. The price is very volatile. Not quite as volatile as what I just described, but it does move. So let's see here. So I've got, we have the address that I was sending from, excuse me. Actually, what I'm going to post here, I believe this is the last one, Sean. And so you can check that out. And if you guys in the chat click that web address that I just posted, then you can see where the Bitcoin came from. And I mean, if you were a detective, you could go back several steps and even see, where it's going. I've got to jump out. Check, be right back. Cool. That's cool, Sean. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Please come back. That's cool. And so we can check, where that Bitcoin came from. And because there is this blockchain, which is referred to as a distributed ledger, which is basically a really fancy word for a book or a piece of paper or a database. But this database is shared by a lot of people. And since everybody has a copy, you can't cheat it. So that's a basic concept of why it works. How would you describe it, Joint?
Yeah, it's I think of it as it's just a ledger. Like, you think of Scrooge McDuck in the Christmas Carol movie, right? Where he's like, all the transactions, all the different things. And so it's that in a digital form since the very beginning of Bitcoin. And then I think of the Bitcoins themselves, like as points in a really boring video game where people are pointing their miners to solve this puzzle. And then when they solve it, they get the reward. And it's more, there's no more than that. It's just points. It's just a number. That's kind of how I think.
That's true. Well, that makes sense. I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so let's see if we have anyone else around that wants to. Shadow314coinbase.com. Okay, I'm going to check out that link, Bobby, and see if I can get a raw or a real Bitcoin address from that Coinbase alias. Let's check that out. So I'm going to head over here to that.
Yeah, I think you can.
It's loading slowly. Okay, that's a cool thing. I like that feature. That's convenient.
I've done a demo once before of sending Bitcoin over video like this. So I'll have someone hold up their QR code. And so if anyone else wants to get a tip, I'll send a tip over video, like to one person. So I'll take the next one who can show their QR code on video.
Yeah, that is a really cool way, and I'm just not set up with my mobile device ready to go. But that's okay. It's cool anyway that you can do it like that, and I'm really glad that you brought yours to show that. Hey, I'm just checking in for the first time on Blab. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Right now I'm giving away Bitcoin, so if you have a Bitcoin address, then please post it in the chat, and I'll send you a millibit. How does that sound? That's pretty cool, right? And so the reason I'm giving these out is not so people get rich, and I don't get anything out of it. I just want people to learn about the technology aspect of Bitcoin by self-discovery, by doing it themselves. And I think the best way to do that is just to give someone a little bit of Bitcoin. They can see okay, at least the number changed on their wallet, but they can see what it is, how it works, and start to think about what's going on. So all the people that I sent Bitcoin to so far, I don't know why this Coinbase page is loading so slow for me, but I will get to it eventually. All the people that have received Bitcoin now, you have to think to yourself, okay, well, I have the Bitcoin, it's on my wallet, but if you lose that program or the files, so that then it's gone forever. Okay, so that's like cash. So our computers that we have right now and our devices were not really designed to store value on them. So really we're kind of at a interesting phase of all this, I think, because when you have a device that's always connected to the internet and it's storing a lot of value on it, cash, essentially, then that is not really always the best idea. So if you do are storing Bitcoin a lot, I mean, now I just gave you 29 cents. Okay, it's not such a big deal, right? That's definitely true. And so, well, what's cool with Bitcoin is you can have, okay, Daniel has got a Bitcoin address. Daniel, I'm going to send you a millibit. You can join. How can people secure their 29 cents worth of Bitcoin?
Oh, well, if they want to keep it for a while, I would put it on a paper wallet. And so,
okay, that's a good suggestion.
And also, if they wanted to secure it, I would actually, because most people on here are iPhone or Android, I'd probably get like Mycelium wallet, even though they're having a little trouble right now, but I think it's a good solution. I would put it on a Mycelium wallet on iPhone or Android. Make sure there's a pin on your device and on the wallet itself. And then you make a backup. They're really good about making a backup. So then you write the 12-word backup of it, put that on paper, and then hide it somewhere. So then if you ever break your phone or lose your phone, you can go ahead and just put those words back into a new wallet on a new device and have all your Bitcoins.
That sounds good. So if anyone wants to take a seat, please do. Or if someone has a question about Bitcoin in general, blockchain, or anything, related to that somehow, Linden dollars, World of Warcraft gold, then I'm joking a little, but then please, feel free. So yeah, paper wallet, I totally get exactly what you just said, but I have a feeling that if someone is new, they don't know what's going on with that. Hey, Joint, could you do me a favor? Could you try to load that Coinbase alias page? Because it's just not loading for me.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I don't know why.
It wouldn't load for me either. I can go to Coinbase.com and it loads fine.
Okay, so if you could get his Bitcoin address, that would be cool, and I'll send him over a millibit too. So
I was going to try a different URL.
I did just buy. Okay, here we go, Brittany. Thanks for coming on, Brittany. Brittany, I did just buy Bitcoins for the first time 2 days ago. I have no idea what anything is. Coinbase and CoinDesk. Now I live on my home screen. I said, okay. I'm now live on my home screen. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so, I hope you have no idea what anything is. Well, I hope that, you're going down the rabbit hole and learning by doing. Hopefully don't make any big mistakes, but that is a good way to learn. And that's how I learned. In 2013, I got really interested in it and I just went to Faucets. So Faucet is a place where you can get free Bitcoin, kind of like what I'm doing, except imagine a website where you just enter your address and hit give me Bitcoin, it gives it to you. So back then, there were a lot of ads on those sites, and they did give you pretty small amounts, but they were still giving you decent amounts. So currently, you don't really get a whole lot at these Faucets. And I'm even stopping to recommend them to new people a lot because it's just not really worth their time, and it's more frustrating than anything. So one solution is just to have a live faucet like this, a live spontaneous faucet on air. And we're just giving away Bitcoin. We're having a conversation. If people want some, they can. That's cool, you know, and I like that. So, okay, well, Brittany, you have no idea what's going on. Well, then ask a question. Ask a question. What do you want? What would you like to know? Why did you buy Bitcoin? Did you buy Bitcoin as an investment? Are you a trader? Did you buy Bitcoin because you want to buy illicit things on the internet? If you did and you have a Coinbase account, you better be careful. Do you want to? I felt like it was a good time investment. Okay, that's fair enough. Cool. So I would put that then probably in the so-called buy and hold category of investing is what I'm getting out of it. That's cool. I would steer away from holding it at Coinbase forever, and I would encourage you to download a wallet to your desktop and to send small amounts back and forth, maybe to yourself or something like that, to figure out how it works. And then after that, you can do what Joint was saying. Maybe you could say, okay, I want to look into something called cold storage. So I want to store these coins offline so that they're safe. If I want to buy and hold, well, then I might as well store them in a safe way. That's a good idea. Hey, what's up, Mark? Give us your Bitcoin address and I'll send some Bitcoin over. Hey, what's up, Black Caesar? Give me your Bitcoin address and I will send you some Bitcoin. So you guys, you don't have a Bitcoin address. This is always the issue with a lot of things in the world. How do you get the chicken or the egg, right? What comes first? So in this case, what comes first is a Bitcoin address. No problem. You can get one. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is to download a program. It is a Bitcoin wallet called Electrum. And you're going to get it at electrum.org. And I'm going to post the link right now. And that is a desktop app. If you don't feel like downloading, this is a down for Mac at Linux. Let me check really quick. They should have all that stuff. Just let me do a quick check. Linux, Windows, OS X, Android. They got it all. And what is also for all the geeks out there, you'll notice if you go to this site, I'll link directly to the download page. So if you go to that, you will notice that not only do they have all those operating systems, but it's open source. So you can go to the GitHub. You could also download the Python source and compile it yourself if you are so inclined to do. So why is that important? Well, what do you think, Joint? Do you think that's an important aspect of open source and that kind of aspect of the Bitcoin community? Well, right. Do you think that's related?
Especially if you're going to be holding a lot of Bitcoin and you're going to be putting some substantial amount of money in there. You might want to take every step that you can to make sure that that what you have on your computer is safe, because we do have to put trust into these companies when we download a piece of software that there's nothing bad in that code. But if they give you the code that you can actually inspect, or even if you're not necessarily a coder, if you could have a friend who is, look at it and, say, hey, this is good, then you can compile it yourself, meaning that, that the code that goes in is what you get when you use the program. Then you've got right. Really good security.
Exactly. So set that up, and if it's already, you've downloaded it and you've looked at it and you're like, well, I'm following the directions, but I still don't quite get it. then that's okay. There's also a quicker way to get a Bitcoin address. I will post the link here.
Yeah, for Mac, I'd also recommend Multibit. Especially if you're just wanting something right now to receive some Bitcoin and deal with smaller amounts. It's a pretty safe solution. I've been using it for over a year and have had pretty good luck with it and no problems.
Anyone get it? Anyone can get a Bitcoin address instantly with ChangeTip. Well, that is true. What ChangeTip has done, what the problem they've solved is what we're having right here. That how does someone receive Bitcoin? Now, I will have to log into my ChangeTip to figure out if there really is.
Yeah, with ChangeTip.
Do they offer?
Yeah.
But is there really an address in there for me to send to or not?
I have mine open right here. You go to Add Money tab in ChangeTip, and you just copy and paste that address that's in red under Deposit Bitcoin. Copy that from there and paste it into Blab here, and then it'll load up your ChangeTip.
Exactly. Right. So that is good. That is a convenient service. And so basically there are different levels of trust, different levels of comfortability, let's call it comfortability, and different levels of security. And at each level, you have a trade-off. So why is all this important? Well, this is important because this is money and this is cash. So that's why we're having to think about it. And this is a change in the way that we think about things. Why is it a change on how we think about things? Because now I'm responsible for the funds, essentially. So when I lose Bitcoin, it's gone. I can't call the CEO of Bitcoin and say, customer service, give me my Bitcoin back. That's not going to work. Okay, so that's what I mean. So what I want to say is you got ChangeTip, Coinbase, an exchange. Okay, that's a central service, a centralized service that is providing a service for you so that you can conveniently transact in Bitcoin. It's not really a whole lot different than other legacy forms like PayPal and so on. It's a little cooler. It is Bitcoin based, but okay, I need Fonto installed for Linux. I don't know what's up with that, Black, but I will suggest in the meantime you go here. Hold on.
Oh, and Black Caesar, you have you can put a wallet on your Nexus 7. So
you could go that route.
I know he has that, so he could do that and make it a little easier.
You could go that route too. So what I'm saying is, I want to encourage people to. It's okay to use these services. Everyone has to use a gateway at some point. ChangeTip, Coinbase, and Exchange. But I want you to use something where you're really responsible for your Bitcoin in order to learn. Right. Yeah, I got first. Yeah, you gotta put that Linux command in there. It should work. No, there's another convenient wallet called Rush Wallet. Rush Wallet is cool. That is cool. So I'm telling people blockchain info. It's also a web-based wallet. So all of the Rush Wallet is also really cool. But for basically, let's just say the web-based wallets are also not for permanent usage. So for me sending you 29 cents worth of Bitcoin, that's cool. That's okay. But if I want to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and hold it for whatever reason, then I don't suggest it stay on a web wallet for a long time. Right, exactly, Daniel. So there's different, and what's cool about Bitcoin, so if I go to the bank and I say, I have a startup, they say, oh, great. you need an account, you need a new checking account, you need, I don't know what, you need some new cards, whatever the bank account says. Okay, thanks a lot, Daniel. Okay, and then you've got one new bank account number, or even two, let's say, right? So with this, you're flexible. You can make as many addresses as you want. You can have as many wallets as you want, and for different levels of convenience or security as what you need. So you could store and deal and do everything in Bitcoin totally yourself in a peer-to-peer manner, or at least, not using a central service. Or you could just you could say, I don't care, I'm just going to use Coinbase. But every time you use a central service, there's that much more risk. So what I said earlier, Coinbase provides a great service for onboarding people to Bitcoin. However, they have to go by, they have to deal with a lot of legal things. Yeah,
they have to they're basically acting as a bank now, and they're following all the rules within the banking system and the federal regulations that go with it.
Exactly. Which is, they can do what they want. That's fine. That's not the issue. The issue is it's a shame if someone says, oh, I heard about Bitcoin, I'm going to buy some. They go to Coinbase and buy Bitcoin. They say, oh, I heard I can go play poker with Bitcoin. And they send Bitcoin from their Coinbase account to a known poker website. And then Coinbase says, oh, we're closing your account because you sent it to an illegal service. So that's an example of someone that was doing something that's technically not allowed, but it's not really a bad thing per se. Let's say, even if it matters if we judge what they're doing, that you need to check when you're using these central services. You might want to, but Bitcoin is cool because you can just send to another address that you control, and they're not. And then after that, you can do what you want.
Yeah, because they can only tell one step away, yeah. Really. And if someone gets into that trouble, it's not necessarily that they're even in any legal trouble or anything. It's just that it's a violation of Coinbase terms of service. And so they'll shut your account down for that, not for any other reason.
Right. Yeah. So there are plenty of one of the big uses at the beginning was gambling, dice, poker, or whatever with Bitcoin, because it's easy to do. And Bitcoin is 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, doesn't stop. So you can use it on the weekend. It doesn't close like a bank or anything. It's going. This is money. Bitcoin itself is open source. So the whole thing is open source. You can copy Bitcoin and make your own currency. You can do that. People will do it every day.
Yeah, there's thousands
of the so-called alternative cryptocurrencies, so altcoins. So I just mean that this is a different dynamic than a closed source software or some other thing. So this is an ongoing thing. Okay, let's read some of the comments. Online poker has tremendous problems with money, transfer, storage, etc. And doing the trading live between players makes a ton of sense. Yes, definitely.
Right, and with that poker situation, yeah, there was like a day when they called it Black Friday, when all the poker sites that you could get to in the United States had to shut down.
Full tilt. Yeah,
and so they needed there needed to be another way, and Bitcoin came around, and then there were sites that came up that did poker, and you could just send with Bitcoin, and then and he was saying about, you do have to put your trust in that poker site, basically. I haven't seen any total peer-to-peer gambling sites that could, potentially actually exist. But, you'd have to have some third-party escrows and some multi-sig transactions and such.
Well, there are some basic, they're already existing now. Okay. There are some basic functions. There is on something called Counterparty, which is a platform built on top of Bitcoin, which I don't want to get too geeky here and try to explain that. It's called a meta layer of Bitcoin. But you can play a peer-to-peer paper, scissors, rock game. And the number is based on the Bitcoin blockchain, what's coming.
That's cool.
And there's no counterparty risk in that case. So that's just an example. More will come. But what I wanted to say is that as far as the cards on the table and all that, and you're on, you're in the internet, so you can't put the cards on, you can't put the chips on the table in the pile. Well, so let's go to another. Also, anyone that's watching or listening, etc., put your Bitcoin address in the chat, and I will send you a millibit. So 0.001 of Bitcoin, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can look at it. You can tell your friends you have Bitcoin, now you're cool. You can tell your geek friends you're cool because you have Bitcoin. You can send it to someone else. You can hold it forever. You can do whatever you want with it. It's totally up to you, but I want people to have it so they can just see what's up with it. The best way to learn about something is to get dirty, get in it. What's the program called? I just downloaded. It's called Electrum. Electrum. So look for that on your desktop, Black, and see if you can do it. There is you're gonna have to do a little bit of something to get your password going at the beginning, but it tells you exactly what to do. And just follow the directions, and then give me your address, and then you're ready to go. So another reason I'm telling people that I'm encouraging people to download Electrum is what I like is they have in the version that people are downloading now, they make it pretty easy and intuitive to do something called multi-signature. There are other options, other wallets that allow this to do. Allow you to do that, but I do like how it's set up because I thought, oh, that's pretty simple. It is a kind of, from an outsider's point of view that's not into Bitcoin, even people into Bitcoin, there's not that many that actually do a lot of multi-signature stuff. They talk about it a lot, but not a lot of people have actually done it, I think. They do it in an easy way. So multi-signature means, okay, so me and Joint right now, we could make a deal. Let's say, hey, Joint, we're doing a startup, okay? And everybody, because everyone here gets that. So what is it like so at startup? Well, one guy has the access to the internet page, right? He's the hosting guy, yeah? He's got the domain. He's got the password to the account. He's got the, what type do I want? Standard, two-factor, multi, or hardware? Standard, Black. Good question. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're doing a startup, and what happens at start? One guy has the web stuff. The other guy has controls the bank account, and the third person controls the office space. Let's say. Okay. It's a fantasy example, but I think that's possible, right? One guy has the keys to the office.
Bitcoin just went down.
Is that a price alarm?
Yep.
Did we dump?
Yeah, maybe just had a little bit of a downturn. Let's see here.
Okay, I've got Bitstamp 288. Yep. Weekly futures 290, quarterly 299. It went down a little bit. It's about $1 move, but it probably was pretty sudden.
Yeah, and I have a 1.2% downturn.
You're crashing the system? Are you crashing our system or your own system, Mark? No problem. Just get an address somehow. You can either go to Blockchain Info or you can download Electrum. Those are probably the two best ways. So, okay, anyway, what I'm trying to say is me and Joint have a startup, and the other guy has the keys to the office. One night we have a big argument, and we find out that the third guy is sleeping with the first guy's girlfriend, and the other guy is with the other guy, and everyone hates each other, right? And then in the morning, the guy that owns the domain and has the web hosting stuff has put all this crazy stuff on the website because he hates all the guys. The other guy emptied out the bank account, and the other guy that controls the office just took all the office furniture out. Okay? So, that's something that could happen, right? That's possible. But with multi-signature at least the funds, okay, would have to be denominated in Bitcoin, but you could use it for some purposes, would be with join, I would do 2 of 2. So that would mean that if we want to transact from that, we said pay us at this address, but the address starts with a number 3 and not a number 1. So if you notice, the addresses in the chat have all started with a number 1, okay? That is a standard Bitcoin address. But if the address starts with a 3, then you know, oh, that's a multi-signature address. That means more than one key is required to transact with that address. Therefore, if Joint says on his wallet, yes, I would like to transact, and I say on my wallet, yes, I sign this transaction, only then would we be able to move the Bitcoin. So that is a way to secure. So you can also do 2 of 3, and you could do more complicated ones like 5 of 8 and all that kind of stuff. But okay, great, you're doing the Electrum. Just whenever you just do standard. Where do I find the key? Okay, so it should be that in your wallet, let me get the picture of Electrum. I can't do screen share because I haven't set that up with the workaround. It should be there should only be one address in your Electrum when you start, and that's it. And you probably have to right click it and copy it and then paste it in the chat, and there you go.
Yeah, receiving address, correct.
Okay, exactly, receiving address. Okay, great. All right, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to send you a little bit of Bitcoin. Okay, so Joint, just keep talking about a possible use for multi-sig while I'm doing that.
Oh, okay. So then you could even use multi-sig as a form of voting in a way. If you have people with different keys and they want to give their approval for something in, say, a corporation, they could actually set up something where, yeah, like if you had 8 people and you need to make sure that 5, it has to get 5 votes of the 8 different people to agree on something, and then you just send a small transaction from each of those people. Well, it'd be one transaction, but it would require 5 of the 8 keys to send the transaction, and then you could have that all documented. And then if you see the amount, or if you see what's agreed to be sent to the address that it's supposed to be sent to, then you know that it's been approved by the 5 of the 8 people.
Exactly. That is a really interesting way to do it. So basically, it wouldn't have to be necessarily a monetary amount. It could just be, if the transaction went through, that's yes. If you got something here pending, yeah, it's going to be pending, but you've got it, Mark. You have Bitcoin now. So it's going to be pending, just means that the network is checking. So the network everyone's got a copy. Yeah, right. It's cool, isn't it? Everyone has a copy of that book, and they're checking, did Theo really have that, and everything else. I'm a Bitcoin newbie. How do I get started? Okay, what you have to do is you've got to get a Bitcoin address. So I encourage you to go to, I'm going to post the links again to get a Bitcoin address. Depending on your level of how geeked out you want to get, for medium geeked out, but still good for starters.
Hey, Mark.
You need to go to electrum.org. There's all kinds of operating systems. That's a Bitcoin wallet. So Mark was able to set that up, and Black is still setting it up, but I think he's doing it. You can do that. So that's actually a desktop software, and they also have Android. And if you think, I'm just too lazy to download something, or that's too weird for me, then okay, in the movie show blab. Oh, I really liked that seed problem. Well, yeah, you are creating a seed problem. Okay, well, what we're going to do, Black, what about Coinbase? Does that work? Yes, it does work. If you have a Coinbase account, you should have a Bitcoin address. If you don't have a Coinbase account, then it's probably easier for you to just go to blockchain info and make a quick account.
Yeah, and with Coinbase.
No, it's not. Bitcoin isn't blocking Black Sea. Black Sea, just make an account at Blockchain Info first. When you guys make it at Blockchain Info, you must remember your password. You cannot call. There are some. You cannot call someone and get a backup of your password. Okay, so maybe just for this, you can make as many accounts as you want at Blockchain Info, though. So don't worry. Okay, you could make it pretty easy. So just do that. Oh. I already made a seed at the other. Well, I'm not sure what your problem is. I'm trying to figure that out. Yeah, I mean, do you have something where it says receiving address to receive coins? You know the problem, Mark? He didn't copy. I typed what they gave me, and it would. Do you have what happens is sometimes there's a space after the seed or before, and that screws it up. So you have to make sure you don't have a space. I did that, yeah. I'm not 100% sure right now, just off the top of my head. Mark, you have an idea? Then you can take a seat or you can chat it out. But yeah, I'm glad people are trying. They know about. Oh yeah, that's definitely it. Well, what I think is what you can do is make an account at Blockchain Info. I'll send you some. And then when you get it sorted, you can send it from Blockchain Info to your other wallet. And that's going to be another step of learning for you, since then you've transacted with yourself. And that's how I learned at the very, very beginning back in the day. I just sent some around. I was like, this is really cool. You could also make a new wallet. Go for it. That's cool too. That's definitely a way.
Black Caesar, try the Bitcoin wallet for Android. It's the orange Bitcoin logo. It should be the first one that you see when you go into the Play Store, and that should be a pretty quick download and an easy way to get started. And to address Kieran's question, if I wanted to ask her do you have Coinbase pulled up on your desktop right now? Either way, if you have it on desktop or through the app, I can walk you through how to get your address.
Right. So Joint knows how to deal with Coinbase. That's great, because I'm not 100% sure. Okay, you've pulled it up right now. Okay, excellent.
Okay, so
and Bobby. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So Kieran, if it's pulled up on your desktop, you should see a little link at the top right, just under the main bar, that says wallet address. And then that'll just give you a QR code with your wallet address in text, and then just copy and paste that address into Blab here.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So
cool, Theo. I'm gonna step off for a little bit. I'll still be in the chat room and helping out, but I got a little bit to do.
Okay, great. I really appreciate it. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Great. Okay, see you soon. I'm going to make a new wallet. Wait, there's more. This time I copied and pasted. Did it work if you copied and pasted, or was it maybe it was your typing? Because if you mess up one little bit on that seed, then you might get that issue that you were talking about. So now I'm going to go total. We got someone else jumping on. That's great. Hey, Black, what's up? Did you figure it out? I can't hear you. But you did write down. It looks like you had a pen. That's good. You got a pen. You wrote down that long password. That's good.
Well, not yet. I'm still working on it. What happens is, I think they have a catch in there. You cannot type it, because I might be looking over your back typing while you are. Mm-hmm. You must copy and paste. You follow me?
I follow you. I have to.
I'm telling you.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go and do it again myself, because I don't remember what I did. You know what I mean? Because sometimes
it was the same words, and it wouldn't let me type it. I have to copy and paste, and then the next button highlights. So I'm up to that point right now, but I'm still writing this enormous novel out of a password.
Yeah. So this is a big learning experience. So what Black is doing is he is writing down a seed. So this is cool because let's say you had that piece of paper, but your whole computer got destroyed.
Right.
So you're straight. You're fine. You're okay. You're okay then, because all you got to do is reinstall, type in your seed, and it's going to have your addresses for you. So you wouldn't have lost your Bitcoin then. That's what's cool about the seed. Okay. Now, not all wallets function like that, but that one does. That's one reason I'm encouraging people to go that route and learn it, because I think that's a very good way to do it. And that's becoming what it worked or what?
Yeah, I gave up on this like 2-3 years ago because it's generating an address. And I just gave up until you came along. So I said, well, gee, I guess I'll go
You got
to
the
Walmart.
address?
Yeah, well, we're going to see in a minute. I guess I'll go to Walmart.
It's generating addresses.
How do I?
Great.
It's telling me how do I want to connect to a server? Auto connect or select server manually?
Just go to auto connect. It should connect for you.
Okay.
So it's just trying to connect to the Bitcoin network.
Right. I was going to
which is a bunch of nodes
and get a Bitcoin. They do.
They don't.
Oh, they don't.
That would be cool. That would be cool. No, they do not have it, but
now,
that would be cool.
If Walmart gets into it, it's game over.
Sure. Well, yeah. Well, it means it could get big. I mean, if they could accept it pretty easily.
Okay.
What they could. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm here at my default 2.3.3 default wallet. History, send, receive, addresses, contacts, console. I don't even know what my own address is.
Receive. Go to receive, and there should be an address there.
Wow, I'm on Park Avenue. No. Okay, receiving address. I got that.
Now copy and paste that into the chat, and then I'll send you a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, a millibit, actually, it's called.
Okay, but
okay, Kieran, your millibit is on the way.
There's still going to be a coin attached to it, right? It won't just be a bit without the coin. Hey, you have to hit.
No, so what you can do, I'm going to type how much. Yeah, it's cool, huh? So it's going to be this much. What I just typed. 0.001.
As compared to $1.
No, as compared to a Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, I can also do this if I want.
Okay, see, I'm not getting what's the relationship here? We're talking
okay.
on a
so imagine
plane.
Okay, I know what you're saying. So let's say British pound. Yeah? Every day British pound is traded for different currencies. For example, British pound, US dollar. Okay? And the price changes every day. Okay? So you can imagine Bitcoin is in a similar way. It's not a foreign currency that from a country, but it is its own network, and the price of Bitcoin changes every day, just like other currencies do. Okay? Because it's what
changes
based on what people are willing to pay for it. It's traded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's traded on exchanges. So that's like a website where you can buy and sell. It's traded locally, peer-to-peer. So you go to these websites and you say, I'm in Greenville. I want to buy Bitcoin. This is my price that I want to pay. And if you say, oh, I want to sell you, then you meet up and you do a transaction just like how I sent you some. So it depends on how you want to do it. So every day, and that also affects the price.
Okay, now you give me 0.1. How else do I fund it?
Mm-hmm. Well, one way is you can send dollars to an exchange. Like, for example, people are suggesting Coinbase, and then you buy Bitcoin at Coinbase, which is a service. Or you go to another website called Local Bitcoins, and that's what I described, where you meet someone in person and you transact with them. Now, that is with risk, because you're dealing with a person you might have never met and money, right? Yeah. But let's say you went, now Greenville, I don't know, but I know in Raleigh, there's a big community. You could go to a meetup, so a Bitcoin meetup. And then you could say, does anybody here, would anyone here sell me $20 a Bitcoin, or would anyone sell me a whole Bitcoin? A few hundred, a small amount like that would be okay, not like $10,000 or something, and probably someone say, okay, I'll do it. You guys agreed on a price. You guys look, what is it being traded at? What's the current price? And then you guys agree on that. You know what I mean? So that's how the price is made. And that's just how prices are made in general of things that are traded, stocks, foreign exchange rates, etc. It's traded and it fluctuates.
Okay, so now I'm in receive. I'm actually requesting this from you.
Yeah. So this 117, I should have sent some already. Do you have something that says pending?
Well, all I did, I gave you the receive address, so now I don't know where to look. Where would I look?
It should just be in your wallet. There should be like next to that where it says receive, or next to that your addresses on the right side, I believe, should be a value coming, or it should say a pending transaction is coming.
Oh, wait a minute. I see something here. Balance 0, blah, 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 plus
that's
one,
it. That's
unconfirmed at the
That's
bottom.
What I sent you. That's it.
Okay.
I sent you that.
Okay.
It will get confirmed. It will take time. So the network, but you still have it now. The network will confirm it over and over again. So it's like I said, so what I can do is I'm going to share this with you guys just a second, and you can get a little idea, a visual idea of what I'm talking about. So click that link, what I just sent, and what that is showing is, the transaction. I hope it's showing you in English. I don't know.
That we just made?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's showing you where it came from and where it went. And when that is continued. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So what does that mean? Well, the Bitcoin network is like basically saying, does that address have any Bitcoin? Can Theo send Bitcoin? Does he even have it?
Okay.
Yes, he does have it, because we see the history. The history is written in the blockchain permanently, and it can't be edited. So we see that he has it, and that he has and if I have the private key, then I have the power to send it. I can control it. Okay?
Right.
So all that seed stuff that you saved is so that you can recover your private key. So every address, this address you gave me, that's the public address. It has a corresponding private address that is in your program, in some of those files, okay? For practical purposes, you usually don't see it. Exactly. Tom is saying the miners confirm. That's correct. I'm just trying to explain it in a way. The miners, the people that are they're not really digging the Bitcoin, but you could say it like that. But they are basically, the miners are doing the job that a lot of the bankers do. They are pushing the transaction, more or less. Okay, so
they get a piece of that Bitcoin for doing that?
They do. I paid them a small fee. And now that's complicated. So, okay, I'm going to do my best to explain the basics of mining, because I actually, a lot of times I leave this out because it's kind of gets into super geek world and it gets kind of complex. But let's just say, okay, if you need a random number that's really long and hard to come by in order to confirm this list of transactions. If you come up with that number, then you get the reward of 25 Bitcoin right now. because you have confirmed that. And everybody is trying to solve that. Okay, a lot of people will say trying to solve that mathematical problem to get that number. And by doing that, all of that electricity and all of that power, it creates hash power, a lot of hashing, because there are so many hashes per second they're producing to try to find that number. Okay? Why? Well, that secures the network, because if I have, theoretically, if I have over 50% of the network power, of the mining power that I'm talking about, then I could maybe do something a little bit with the network for a limit, as long as I can control it. Okay? I could do something called double spend. Okay? I couldn't destroy Bitcoin, but I could mess things up for a little bit. Okay? If I tried to do it's called a 51% attack. All right? To prevent that, you have all of these people trying to gain control, basically, in a way, to get that number. And since a lot of people are doing it, it's hard to get the 51 because you need a lot of energy to do it. Theoretically, although it's very unlikely, you could try to solve that problem with your own CPU power. However, the problem is so hard to solve in the meantime, you need data centers to solve it. But I mean, theoretically, you have a chance with your CPU. You have a chance, theoretically, but it's a very low chance. It's kind of like in the lottery area of chance, of winning the lot. I mean, you're in so at the very beginning, because what happened is, because of what I'm describing, there were these ASICs were created. So an ASIC chip could be used for any function in the whole world, theoretically, is now that I'm here explaining, I can't remember what ASIC stands for. Forget it. ASIC is just a chip that is made for one specific function, and that's it. Okay? So this is the evolution of Bitcoin mining short story. At the beginning, Satoshi, we don't know who Satoshi is or who they are, but Satoshi wrote Bitcoin. It's an open source, okay? Wasn't
it the guy that they captured somewhere? What's his name?
No.
That wasn't him? Okay.
No, there was Time tried to figure out who Satoshi was, but it's not true. So anyway, okay, and then you could mine Bitcoin just with a wallet like you downloaded, basically. Okay, you would just go into the console of the wallet and you would set something, change something, and then
I'm achieving.
Okay, hold on. I'll get to you. I'll get to you, Tom. Just a second, okay?
I'm achieving synchronizing.
Oh, yeah, you're synchronizing to the network. Exactly. So, right. So at the beginning, the people were synchronized to the network with their wallets, and they told their wallet, they gave this command, mine, basically, okay? And they were doing the mine. That's what they were doing what I described with their computer. So have you heard of the SETI project?
Yeah.
That's looking for alien life. You know how the people use the extra computer power? Imagine that. It's the same idea. But imagine this. The people discovered, wait a minute, if I use a graphic card, the graphic card can run a lot of threads at the same time. That's like, muscle computer then, right? So they said, let's attach these graphic cards up, and then I'm going to mine my Bitcoin like that. And they were like, wow, this is blowing the computers out of the water. Computers then had no chance if you were a single CPU, and now you had to have graphic card, not only graphic card, but people had farms of graphic cards. So imagine Bitcoin miners having a little room, an office full of graphic cards with a bunch of cables. There's some really crazy pictures and fans to cool it all because that gets hot. Okay, right. and that's how they would mine Bitcoin. And then after that, some people said, this is making money. This is serious. This is ridiculous. Actually, these graphic cards are horribly inefficient if you think about it. I mean, they weren't made for Bitcoin mining. They just figured out that it's faster than a CPU. It's not really good. Okay. And they said, well, I can do that. Say, if I just make this little chip bigger than the chips in your phone, but a little chip, then, wow, I can mine. So then people started coming out with these ASIC miners, and they blew the graphic cards out of the water. Okay. And then it's like, so it's a never ending arms race of who has the better miner as far as mining. But long story short, to use Bitcoin, you don't have to be a miner. But this arms race of always making the network stronger is what helps secure the network. And just to go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one question for you then. What you're saying reminds me of what, I don't know if you ever heard of archive.org.
Oh, I love archive.org. See this thing?
Yeah.
This is an ASIC miner. This is a miner. Look at those chips. See those? See all that? Boom. This is an old one. This is totally out of date. This is probably about a year old. But see that look, and all that is doing is just looking for that number. This whole machine. It's got a fan.
Right.
It's got some major heat sink action. Look at that. That's all for things get hot. Okay.
Well, the Russians and the other UK guys put it in a refrigerator. You put it in a refrigerator so you can overclock it.
And stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks.
That's why I'm asking you about archive.org. Do you know what they're running there?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, let me just tell you that real
I saw
quick.
a video. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, because I was involved in it early on from the beginning. They have racks and racks of terabyte servers that have built into a farm to contain all of mankind's knowledge in these computers. Everything that goes across the internet, they're constantly, you can look up your old website in the Wayback Machine, and they have copies of that. They have all the old films, photographs, writings. So like Alexandria, the temple, they're the Alexandria of the temple. They claim they will hold all of mankind's knowledge forever and for the life of the planet. So until we blow up the planet, they'll hold everything in all these server farms. And I'm looking, they're saving pictures, films, videos. You can upload everything, community. If they turn that on to Bitcoin, or Bitcoin has a system like that, that's impenetrable.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So that is a cool idea. I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah. So yeah, it's Iceland has geothermal energy too. Yeah. So a lot of Iceland is a popular place to have a mining operation in the meantime. And anywhere with cheap electricity. Iceland, because of it's cool there. So you don't have to worry about it. You see what I mean? So, and the electricity is not expensive. A lot of other things are expensive.
That's what the Russian guys did. They took the CPU and put it in a freezer. So a lot of guys have a fan and the cooling. They took it and put it in the freezer and dropped it below 32 so that they could overclock the CPU all the way up, where, way back in the days, guys were getting 3, 4, 10, 12 gigahertz, while people were still on 0.5 and 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so if anyone is watching, I don't know who new has stopped in, or if anyone new, if you have your Bitcoin address, just put it in the chat and I'll send you over a little bit of Bitcoin so you can figure this stuff out. Yeah, I just want to know if there are any other questions. Hello, Leah. Sorry, I probably pronounced that wrong.
Right. So now that you gave me a little bit, Layla, I think.
Layla, sorry.
Now that you gave me a little bit, where would I get some now? This is why I was telling my kids, hey, I've been trying to figure this out for like a couple
You want to get more. If you want to get more.
I want to.
Okay, well,
leave it in the wallet. So
there's more ways if you want to get more Bitcoin. There are a few ways.
Can send me his.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of your Bitcoin, Caesar wants to get more Bitcoin. So actually, what I encourage people to do, which is the coolest, is to sell stuff. Sell art, music, services.
Yeah,
exactly. I know that's
Amazon. I have it on Amazon, and it's like, hey, I'm still sitting there. Nobody sees me.
Well, it's just another avenue. You could say, "Oh, I've got a shop," or what you could do to start. You could make an account over at BitcoinTalk.org. So I'll post the link. Bitcoin Talk is the biggest Bitcoin forum. Now, keep in mind, it is an internet forum, and those things are a little bit more trolly than here at Blab. But as long as you just keep that in mind and go with the flow, you're cool. So
okay, but
what I want to say is it's a good starting point because there is a marketplace section of that forum where there are goods, digital goods, and services. So you could say, "Oh, I've got some North Carolina barbecue sauce that I just made. Here's a picture. If you want some, I'll send some to you. This is how much it costs." Or I've got artwork. I made a Bitcoin painting or whatever painting. It doesn't matter. Or whatever object. Or, hey, I got some songs. You could buy them. I mean, it's tough to sell songs for anything right now. That's just how it is. But
this is what I would like to do. I have an art site. That's PayPal. I can put it on Amazon. So I'd like to take the art site and say, hey, guess what? Now, instead of going to Amazon or PayPal, you can pay with this little application here with Bitcoin. I want to be able to embed
you can do that.
Right.
No problem.
And I get that.
No problem.
I get that where?
Well, there are a lot of ways to do it. So what you could do. So yeah. I mean, it depends on. So, okay. At your website, are you linking to Amazon and all that, or do you have like a little shopping cart?
No, what I was doing is linking out to Amazon. I forget exactly how I had done it, so that this way people can be assured that your transaction is good at Amazon. Right.
Yeah, that's cool. It has trust. Yeah, Tom, that's right. BitPay is one. It really depends on how much stuff you have and how you want to do it. BitPay is pretty cool, so you can go to bitpay.com. I mean, theoretically, what you could do is you could if you just had like one thing or a few things, or if it was in it.
I got an empty gallery.
Okay. Check this out. If it's in the gallery, then actually what I would do is just use that address that you just gave me or generate a new one. Yeah, you just said, send me the Bitcoin. Yeah. And you just put the address there and it says pay with Bitcoin. And someone says, oh, I want that painting. And they pay with it. And you check on your phone or you check on your computer and you say, oh, I got it. Okay, there you go. There's your object. There's your painting. You see what I mean? Okay. It's just like cash. Yeah. So if you want to use BitPay, I do suggest BitPay too. So Tom suggested that. Thanks, Tom. BitPay is pretty cool because they offer a lot of things and it is free unless you're a big player. BitPay.com, and they're based out of Atlanta. What it's going to help you do?
What is George saying though?
Oh yes, for art. You can have one address for each piece. Yeah, you could do that too. That's a cool idea. So Caesar, check this out. Okay. Instead of a bank where you get one account number for every account, right? You got to pay for every account. Guess what? In that wallet you just made, you can generate as many addresses as you want.
I can.
Yeah. So you could say, actually with art, you can get really crazy with this. You can integrate.
Well, I have to.
Yeah.
How would I know which piece you bought?
Well, you could on your wallet, on the wallet right now, what you just downloaded, for you, you can notice, you can write down a description in that program you can say, this is for groceries, this is for beer, and this is for my painting. Okay.
That's what new means? Yeah. New, the new button.
Yeah. You'll generate a new address. Yep. And nothing will happen to the old ones. You'll just have an additional. And I think with Electrum, you type new and it says, how many do you want? 3, 5, 10, because for each, so you can make for each thing a new address. That is kind of a cool way to do it too. BitPay makes it easier in that you can make kind of like how PayPal has those click here to pay, and you've already set it up to be, $100 or whatever. You know what I mean? There's like little PayPal buttons where it says it's already set to an amount, and they just click there and it does it. You can do basically the same thing with BitPay, but it's Bitcoin. So it's like, okay, this painting costs this much, and you make a little button at BitPay in your account, and you embed that little button, and they click there if they want to pay with Bitcoin, and it shows them the address and the QR code and all that kind of stuff. That's one way to do it. I think BitPay is a good starting point, but I think for your physical stuff, meaning not online, I think that's intriguing and interesting to have a Bitcoin address and a QR code that's the Bitcoin address too, which you can see in your Electrum. You could just copy that somehow or take a screenshot of it or whatever, and you pad that next to each piece, and you say, buy now with Bitcoin. That's that's pretty cool, right?
Now, because I just hit new, and it gave me one address, and then it's asking me for a description, so it grayed out. So here's my last question, and I'm set to rock and roll and become the Bitcoin Picasso of the world. Anyway, no, just kidding.
Cool. Okay.
I have to throw that in there. Okay. So now I got this painting. Me and a friend of mine from Australia, we dove into this. There's only 11 of them on the planet. I have half. She has half. I got like about 3 or 4 left. It sells and needs to sell for about $200 or $300 US. How many US dollars is a Bitcoin?
Yeah, so that is an issue. It fluctuates. Right now, it's $287 for one Bitcoin. $287 for one Bitcoin. Yeah, for one Bitcoin right now.
I can find out the daily rate where? Where do I find that?
A lot of pages. Good question. Go to blockchain info, because that's also going to give you a lot of information to other information.
I just want to jump in here on that, Caesar.
Yeah.
Here's a good one for you. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's called Preve.com. And so that's going to allow you. So say you want to sell the painting, or I forget what it was you were saying is the thing, but you need $200 for it. So you go to this site, and then on the dollar side, put in 200, and then that'll tell you how much Bitcoin that is worth $200.
Now, are you saying then it'll tell me for that day, and then tomorrow I'll be asking too much?
Yeah, that is
on Friday. I just lost my underwear.
Well, yeah. See, that site updates continuously. Like basically every couple seconds, it updates that price. But what we probably could find for you is
an auto updating.
Is a plugin for the website that basically has this functionality integrated into it, and so then it would constantly generate the amount. Then it's got the QR code that the person has to send to, and then they just have to send that amount that is generated. And there's probably a one that actually generates a specific QR code that has that number built into it. So all they have to do is scan it, and boom, they've got the amount they need to pay at that exact moment in time that the Bitcoin is worth that. So, but here's the thing. Like if you're just wanting to get Bitcoin, you could use that, and then you just have that Bitcoin sent to you. It would be based on one of your Electrum wallet addresses. And then if you're not interested in cashing it out, you're just interested in earning Bitcoin, that'd be a great way, because the BitPay one also does that. They also have the option to automatically convert it to dollars for you and put that in your bank account. So if you're not wanting to do that.
BitPay does that?
Yeah, BitPay does that.
BitPay.com?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And Coinbase also does the same thing. So if you already have a Coinbase account, you can set up basically this exact same thing with them too.
That's true.
Is Uncle Sam, my uncle, is he going to want to know how much Bitcoins I have?
If you have enough that it has to be reported, then you might. If it's a number that has to be reported because of the way you do business or something, then maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 10,001 transaction. I don't know.
I meant over
what the issue. The issue is there are different issues. I'm not a tax advisor and I'm not a lawyer. So so just as a disclaimer here.
Disclaimer,
okay.
Got you. Yeah.
So
I'm just trying to get an understanding.
Yeah. No. I just want to make that clear. So there's different things to think about. So if you're selling stuff for Bitcoin like that, and you're then, as described, just switching out to dollar right away with BitPay, then I wouldn't worry about that because you're not holding Bitcoin. That's just the same as any old income that you're getting. You treat that the same, okay? That's just like if you were accepting euros or pounds. Okay, but let's say you accepted Bitcoin, you were holding the Bitcoin. Okay, that's fine. The question is always when you get in contact with fiat. Fiat is dollar, pound, etc. So let's say you accepted Bitcoin for a painting for $1,000, and you said, I want $1,000 in Bitcoin. You said, okay. And then 3 months later, you look and you say, wow, the Bitcoin price just went up a lot. I'm going to sell my Bitcoin. Technically, you have to pay capital gains because you gained on that. You see what I mean? Technically. Yeah. So don't, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a tax advisor. At what amount you really need to take care of that, I don't know. But I wouldn't let it stop you. You know what I mean? I wouldn't let that stop you.
Looking to do both. Yeah. You only described the two ends. I take some, I pay bills. Then I invest some Bitcoin to see maybe it grows. And I need some money at Christmas time. I don't see that Walmart has what I want on sale in Bitcoins. So I say I'm going to need cash. I convert some and I go shopping for the family. So I'm doing the two things now.
Yeah.
And okay.
So so actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to go soon, but I'm going to go 5 more minutes, and it's your last chance to get free Bitcoin. So put your address in the chat, and I'll send some over. Okay, so what I wanted to say is there are other ways to do what you described, as in get out of Bitcoin into the, quote, real world, because like you said, Walmart, they don't accept Bitcoin. But guess what? Oh, thank you, April. Just a second. Let me get that over. So what you can do, what does exist, is one service called Gyft, Gyft, and they also have an app. They are a gift card service, and they accept Bitcoin. And they have gift cards in hundreds of places, one of them being Target. So basically, what you can do is you can take your Bitcoin, you say, well, now I need to buy groceries or I need to buy something, right? No problem. All you do is you go to Gift and you send over some Bitcoin, and then you buy a gift card. And when you buy the gift card, that's going to be bought for the current value of Bitcoin when you buy the gift card. Okay, so if I were to buy a gift card right now, then one Bitcoin would be worth $287, and if I send a quarter of a Bitcoin. Well, I've got a quarter of that, and I've got I bought a Target gift card, and that keeps its value then in dollar. So it's worth $50. It's worth, you know what I mean? Because I bought, or I could say I bought a $50 Target gift card with Bitcoin, for example. Okay, and I go to Target and I can buy whatever I want at Target with that. So why would I do that? Well, there's a reason, because they give you because people like Bitcoin and they like how cheap it is to send everywhere. Gift will give you a discount. I think they give you like 3%. So you're going to get a 3% discount. So if you bought a $100 card, right, you only paid 97 because you paid with Bitcoin. Yeah, you see, so people are willing to give you discounts sometimes if you use Bitcoin to encourage the flow. So people, and it's cheaper for them. Why is it cheaper? Well, if I'm a merchant and I accept credit cards, what happens sometimes? Fraud, chargebacks. Right. It's annoying. It's expensive.
Right. That's the main thing.
Guess what? When you send Bitcoin, it's irreversible. It's sent. I can't get what I sent you. I can't get back. Right. That's it. It's gone. It's done.
Right. There's it's done. Oh, well, it's a bad sale.
Right. Okay. For merchants, it's great.
One important question before you go. Mm-hmm. The thing is still synchronizing, right? So now you go, I got to run to the store. I close the wallet. Is it still running? It's still running in the background?
No, it won't run, but it will synchronize then when you open it again. You can minimize it. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt anything if you close it.
I should leave it running.
I would let it synchronize. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. See what it does. Yeah, but it's not going to be bad if you need to close it. No problem. Just open it when you get a chance, and then it will synchronize that. No big deal.
Cool. Yeah, that's quite a lot of help, and I think you're going to have an excellent recording with that. As a tutorial, man.
I've been recording it. I hope it's good. Yeah, it was intense. I'm glad people liked it. I was able to give away a good amount of Bitcoin, a little bit here, and I'll probably do it again.
More than that, it's not really giving away to Bitcoin. But I really need to figure out after 2 to 3 years, how do you get that thing to work? I mean, guys, download this.
Yeah, but that's that. Yeah, but that's the way to learn. The thing is that, sorry, I'm just pouring some water.
Sure.
The thing is, Bitcoin, because it's a shift. Okay, this is a big shift in how we think of things, because, like I said, I sent it to you, and that's yours now. I can't get it back, but it's digital. Before, the only way to do that was with physical money, okay? Because I was always using PayPal. I complained to call PayPal, and I said, oh, yeah, it's the wrong guy, and it's a fraud or whatever. Or if I use credit card, it's the same. You see what I mean? Checks you can cancel.
They're going through the ACH to rectify their transactions. PayPal is along with everybody else.
Right. It's just an example.
Right.
Decentralized. Tom said decentralized. It's a decentralized. So that's what the network is confirming the transaction, not a single party, a single company. So there's no single point of failure. Okay, that's what. You see how far out that is? That's what I mean. This is a shift.
Yeah, I gotta sit with that for a while.
Yes, exactly. This is a shift in how things are.
But that's what you do all the time. Like, especially, I can see that running Linux. It's got to shake hands. It's downloading. It's confirming. It's checking the error. Then it cleans out the database, and all the stuff that Microsoft and the other guys don't show you, Linux shows you. And it's that handshake which you had since the days of modems.
Yeah. So there is a relation to Linux, perhaps, but to open source software and Bitcoin, and Linux is open source. Okay.
Right.
Because it's showing you, okay, it's that way of thinking that you need to know what's under the hood if you want to know what's under the hood. Okay.
Right.
It's not a closed system where you don't know what's going on back there. You just hope it works right. Okay. So that definitely is related in that sense, for sure. That, you know.
That's what I like about with Linux and the system you're showing. And I keep trying to say with Blab,